Hi everyone, and welcome back to the London Watch Collector channel. If you just tuned in to my channel, I'm a watch collector, a watch enthusiast. I'm basically addicted to watches. And on my channel, I'll be sharing my passion for watches using 4K content. I'll be discussing and showing you brilliant timepieces ranging from Seiko to Patek Philippe. So guys, if you enjoy my reviews, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell and follow me on Instagram. This week, I decided to do a review that lots of you guys have been asking me. From the comments on Instagram and YouTube, people always keep asking me, what is your favorite Rolex? And I thought I'm going to do a review where I share with you guys my best 4 Rolex watches in my collection. And probably out there as well. And why 4 and why not 3, why not 2? Honestly, because I couldn't choose less than 4. So what I said to myself, if I had to choose my favorite Rolex watches, which one would it be? And I was able to end up with 4. Just before the review, I would like to share with you guys the latest Pelly case designed by thecasefarm.co.uk. I've featured a couple of Pelly cases in my reviews. One was buying my 6 Rolex, the other was my 10 watch collection, and I decided to give a huge shout out to thecasefarm.co.uk during this review because they were able to fulfill my needs when it comes to a case. If you guys haven't watched on YouTube, just put Pelly case crush proof test. You would see lots of people from Richard Hammond all the way down to normal YouTubers where they actually put the Pelly case into a test where they put eggs in it, throw them from like 2-meter heights and run it over with a car and put it in a bathtub, etc. And they've always passed the test. And I feel that the Pelly cases fulfill my need as a collector from every point of view. And thecasefarm.co.uk were able to go the extra mile by providing special slots for watches, ranging from 10 all the way down to 3. And this is the latest one they sent me, and I think it's a great design. It's for 4 watches, and it has a slot for your tools, your straps, your gloves, and lots of other things. Inside you can see the 4 slots where your watches would sit in, and at the top is a rectangular slot where you can put a microfiber cloth. You can add a couple of accessories, tools. The cushion is a memory foam type of cushion, so all you have to do is squash it and it will take the shape of your watch. It can fit anything from a huge wrist all the way down to smaller wrist. So all you have to do is give it a nice squash and then place your watch, slightly applying pressure on each side and then just closing the clasp, and it locks in position. And the good thing about it is it actually grips into the slot, so even if you have to turn it upside down and move it vigorously, nothing's gonna happen. It's not gonna fall. So that gives a peace of mind that the watch is not gonna fall on its face while carrying it as a briefcase, etc. Another feature of the case is that it has a lifetime guarantee, and the Case Farm do international shipping worldwide, any country, any destination, and they also do a customized foam fitting for anything you have. People do it for sneakers, for drones, for cameras. And a huge shout out to them again because they provided me with a discount code which is L.W.C 10, which gives you 10% off any watch case. Make sure to get your cases before Christmas because the offer ends on the 31st of December. So make sure to check out the link. I'll keep it in the description below. And there you go, guys. You probably guessed it because they're currently the hottest Rolex sports model. So starting from the left, so we have the Rolex Sky Dweller in stainless steel in the blue dial. It has a reference 326934. This was released in 2017 for the very first time in stainless steel. And honestly, it's a spectacular, well-designed, engineered timepiece because other brands have pushers to be able to adjust the date, take forward the annual calendar, take it back, etc. But Rolex came up in 2012 when they first introduced the ring command bezel on the Sky Dweller, which was in precious metal back then. It was able to come up with a design where the bezel will rotate, engaging and disengaging the gears to be able to adjust the watch accordingly. And honestly, it is an ingenious way It has a patent for, I think, 10, 20 years, something crazy, because they honestly deserve it. This is what I like about Rolex. It took them 50 years plus to come up with an annual calendar, but when they did it in such an amazing way. Moving on to the Daytona, which needs no introduction. One of the most iconic historical watches back from the 1950s. And honestly, I've always liked the Daytona, but the steel bezel never really did something to me. And if you remember from my post on my Instagram back in 2015, I was actually at a Rolex boutique and they had the Daytona 116520. I tried it on, it was available to purchase, and I never did. So I didn't go for it because the bezel, I thought, didn't have the contrast. So in 2016, they released the ceramic bezel. You can only imagine how I was feeling. I was over the moon, not only because it has a ceramic bezel, but the subdials being in black color matches perfectly the watch. The next is the Rolex Pepsi. Honestly, when it came out, I was against it. I was against the Jubilee. I kept reading about, the purple, the pink of the bezel, etc. And I thought, you know what, I'm happy with the Batman. I'm probably not going to buy it. So when the AD called and said, we have a Pepsi in for you, would you like it? So I was like, yeah, you know what, let me come and try it and see what happens. So when I was at the AD and I put the watch on my wrist without even adjusting the Jubilee bracelet, I was hooked. I was hooked because it was something to do with the looks. And believe it or not, I was wearing the Batman when I went to try on the Pepsi. And the moment I put the Pepsi on, I felt something. I don't know if it was the colors, the combination of blue, red and black that matched the Jubilee bracelet perfectly, giving it that shine. Or was it because of the history where the first ever GMT Master Watch was introduced was in blue, red, and on a Jubilee bracelet? It was a combination of both, and I felt, you know what, I have to have this watch. In a couple of weeks, I was hooked to this watch. It suddenly became one of my favorite watches, and believe it or not, I would choose it every day over the Batman. And don't get me wrong, I love the Batman. It will always be in my collection. But if I have to choose between both, it will be the Pepsi. And it's not just because of the new movement, the 3285. It's purely down to the colors as well as the Jubilee bracelet. Finally, guys, the Submariner date, aka the Hulk. So a funny story, in 2015, when I first bought the Hulk, it was actually available at any AD around the world. I remember going in and finding it and buying it within like a day. And my AD keeps telling me that they used to try to convince people to buy this green and no one would buy it. They actually used to offer huge discounts compared to the LN version because no one was buying this watch. And then suddenly in the last 2 years, we see a hype in the Hulk. People just wanting them. And I think the reason behind that is because we all know that the Rolex signature is actually green color. And this is probably the only watch that truly represents the color of Rolex. The beautiful thing about the dial, it changes color anything from black to golden green, depending on the light. And if you have never seen a Hulk in real life, you won't be able to appreciate it because no camera can actually catch that beautiful dial of the Hulk. And that's the reason why it will always be in my collection. Believe it or not, it was the first ever sports Rolex I buy back in 2015. So I guess now you know what are my favorite Rolex watches in the collection. If you guys are not aware, I've bought many watches throughout the years and I currently have the No Date Sub, Sea Dweller 43, Sea Dweller 4000, Batman. I gave up a Yachtmaster, and these are the 4 that I feel if any day I need to minimize my Rolex collection, those are the 4 that will definitely and always stay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Do let me know your thoughts. Do let me know what are your favorite Rolex. Put yourself in a scenario where you had to minimize the Rolex watches in your collection due for whatever reason. Hopefully not bad reasons. I would say, maybe to fund the next level watch, let's say buying an AP or a Patek. What would you keep? What would you give up? And to make it interesting, let me know if you had to choose one of those 4, what would it be? If you like this review, do give it a thumbs up and let me know what would you like to see on my channel. That's all for this week. Thank you for watching.